All right, from the Perfect City, we are very grateful that Steve and Thorsten accepted our invitation. Guys, welcome to my humble podcast.
Hi, good to be on it.
Thank you.
Hi. Good to be back.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. I don't, like I mentioned before, I don't play an instrument or read music at all, but music has been an important part of my life. And I believe that as human being, we are living in very complicated time, this country and that country and so on and so forth. Can music in a way, or art or painting or literature, save the world and help humanity in some way? We are killing one another, and now Trump, Trump, or we want to go to Mars in a couple of years or 5 years. What's the point of it? We cannot.
We can't stop messing up this planet. I don't know. I mean, there's something pure about music. I think that maybe it's the antidote to the toxicity of everyday life for a lot of people. They are complicated times that we live in, and the world. Get that sense that the world is in a state of flux, really. But music is always has been, I think, an escape for people. They can lose themselves in, and it's one of the best things there is in the world. I've always said, I think, great original music is the creation of it is the closest thing to real magic there is in the world.
Yeah, gotcha. What about you, Thorsten? Feel free to elaborate on that as well. I want to hear your view.
So music exactly is escapism, mostly, and that the word is a rough and problematic place is true. Sometimes it's strange because I think our audience is on probably it's like preaching to your choir, because I think that hopefully, and I guess it is, our audience is not part of the problematic people inside the world. And we can try to trigger things, maybe not to preach to others, probably that's a part of the problem too, but try to give them 60 minutes, 70 minutes, concert-wise, 1.5 hours, 2 hours time to just uncouple, ungrounding from things, and that is probably our task and our role in that game. Especially in instrumental music, you can always only trigger thoughts because you don't have the headline on your own head written what you like to tell them. But I think it's a good way to just unground things, which is probably very important.
Absolutely. You can go to a concert of any band, and then you get a beer or two, and then you transport yourself to another world, right? And especially with instrumental music, where there's no lyrics behind it, and you kind of a lot of memories come back to you about your music. That guitar solo, that keyboard or whatever, it brings memories, and believe it or not, and that's exactly what happened to me with your latest album, Bioscope, right? It's a project of Thorsten and Steve, which began in early 2020 and gradually developed through focused 5-day session in Berlin. I think you end up going to see Steve and his Southwest England studio, and then the two of you put that album together. So feel free to elaborate just the beginning, how the project came about at the beginning.
Well, we met for coffee in December 2018 when Marillion were playing in Berlin, and we got on really well. And we talked about the possibility of maybe trying to work together at some point. And February 2019, I flew to Berlin just for a couple of days and which was good. It was promising, but then nothing happened because we're both so incredibly busy with our full-time jobs until March 2020, when Thorsten had a couple of solo shows in the UK, and after the second one in London, came up to the Racket Club, the Marillion studio in Buckinghamshire, and we played together for a few hours, and it was. There was an immediate and undeniable kind of chemistry, really, when our two worlds collided. So yeah, we thought we must pursue this. Then the pandemic hit and the world changed, and it was sort of December 21 before I had chance to do what became the pattern of me flying to Berlin for 5-6 days at a time, and as gradually working on ideas.
All right, that's great, man. And feel free to elaborate what the date where the 5 days you were together, and then Berlin, and then Thorsten coming to the UK. The day to day, the process of creating the record. Because at the beginning, I thought when I heard about this album, well, just keyboards and guitar player, how they can put together. It's not drummer, of course. We'll talk about it eventually. You get decided, well, we need to have some drum, but no lyrics or no keyboard. I mean, no a drum, or other guitar player. So, well, how would the process of for you, Thorsten, at the beginning? I think my understanding is obviously Steve was playing some guitar 30 seconds, and then Thorsten and Steve will go for a cup of coffee and then come back in the evening, and you put all the magic behind it. Hey, I glued this 30 seconds with that 30 seconds. And then Steve will listen to the stuff. Hey, can we change this? Can we change? And then you, okay, give me another plan.
If only it was so easy.
Yeah. Feel free to mention. Thorsten, what's the process that you go through, either with Tangerine Dream or with Steve now in that particular album?
It's kind of a different approach. So I think the good thing was, or is, that we were mostly in the same room and playing together, sharing thoughts together while the other was playing. This is only possible because this is a good match, human and social-wise, because we get along unbelievably well with each other. There's no ego involved. There's was no argument, and there was even no master plan we could have possibly argue about, because we just played music. It was music, a conversation, playing together, creating music out of the moment, and worked from that point where we started in the moment to get the right moment to press the record button, and then working on it in a more safe and controlled studio environment, adding details, arrange it into a form that this is, at least for us, interesting, and to feel the music, and first place to serve the music by itself, not to just put your the fast tapping solo from Steve, or the just doodle-esque things from my side, because to show how fast we could play. No, it was about music, and it was so natural, and even the form shaped, natural wise, to the next part, or was triggered by a guitar riff like Kaleidoscope from Steve, and it was a natural process, and was very important to be in the same room, because you listen with the ears of the other person when you're doing it, because he is sitting next to you, and even the treatments on Steve's guitar using heavy sequenced filters was easy to look into his eye and double check the reaction, then just to record it and throw it on the cloud like Dropbox and wait for the reaction somewhere without having the side eye. It doesn't feel good for us both in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Steve had mentioned many times that, you know, in some of Marillion, when you're in a band of 5 or 6 people and then one person leave or the other person enter, it's tough. You can be a musician because it's like you are married to 5 people at the same time, right? And everybody need to agree in decision and so on and so forth. So the two of you, it seems to be that you get along very well, and
Yeah.
it's of course it's easier, right? When you have you're working together and you bounce each other back and forth, and argue is important, it's necessary, right? And so what's your take on that, Steve?
I think we're just incredibly lucky. Our personalities, our sense of humor, we just work together incredibly well. There's never any conflict. I think we inspire each other. We have a lot of mutual respect. And just what we tried to do with this album, you know, it's very cinematic. It's kind of like lots of tonal textures from the guitar and the keyboards. You know, like painting with sound is the only the way I could describe it. So, you know, you're trying to create something that's can be a journey for people when they listen to this stuff, but also not to fill every space. It's as much about the spaces that you leave in the music as everything that you do. It's having that kind of dynamic. I think we were both very sensitive to.
I got it. What was the motivation of, like, 3/4 almost done? You thought, well, maybe we need a drummer in this track or in that track, but like a soft drum, not you know, a heavy or well-known drummer, more of soft side, right? And you end up reaching out. I think it's a friend of yours, Steve. We're talking about Alex Reeves, right, from Elbow,
Yeah.
to bring some depth and subtle momentum in the entire album.
Well, we'd written a lot of this stuff with loops and various sort of programmed drums, but we thought on the last session we did in December of last year in Berlin that we might want to try some real drums. And first of all, we tried another drummer that didn't really kind of work so well. So then we spent a few hours looking on YouTube videos of all the people that we kind of both knew of that might work for it. But there wasn't anyone really suitable until, my friend Matt Pryor, who plays with Bonnie Tyler, suggested Alex, who obviously plays with Elbow. And we checked out his playing and really loved it. And I emailed Alex. He was away in Australia on holiday, and he said, "Send me some ideas, and I'll see what I think." And we sent him some, and he absolutely loved it, and really wanted to do the album. So then, was it March of this year? Thorsten flew in from Berlin, and we had 2 days in Alex's drum studio in North London, and Alex recorded the whole album in 2 days, which was incredible to watch.
Good for you. Someone and everybody, I think, as a human being, we look back in our life and I wish I have done that, or I wish I could play with that person. But this album is look back in life from the view of from a music point of view, right? Not just memory, but as if images that are collected into a movie, and you are a participant, and other people are participating in your life, and so on and so forth. I imagine that was the main motivation of creating this album. Is that correct?
You just want to try and create something special, something that you can be proud of, that will hopefully enhance people's lives, and that you can, just be proud of, really.
Yeah. Yep. I imagine that when I listened to the album probably 4 or 5 times, and every time I listen to it, I get a different sense. It's different. Last night I listened to 2 times again till like 12 or midnight, and it every time I found more detail, more and more detail, as if there is like a cake with different layers. So with the way I consume music, I listen to the whole thing. And then, because I'm an engineer, I'm a computer scientist, I have no choice but analyze the stuff.
Yeah.
I listen to a particular track, and then I saw a layer, and then another layer, and your guitar going in, and then Thorsten put a different plug-in and take it to another level, then coming down again like a wave, and then pushing you toward the end to a certain area in my brain. It's very beautiful, man. It's very beautiful.
Thank you. It's kind of like it's almost, if you could describe it, as like a dance of these
Yeah,
two musical minds that kind of
yeah.
weave within each other's way of working and musical perspectives. I think there's a purity of purpose in it that's quite rare. It
Mm.
wasn't designed. It was what you hear is the result of the genuine inspiration we both kind of felt.
Gotcha. I was thinking also that like a movie taking the theme of the album, right, and the meaning behind it, a movie director can kind of use the music for like a movie soundtrack or perhaps a short film, stuff like that. Have you guys been approached or not yet? And very likely you're going to be approached for that kind of thing.
Yeah, it would be nice if we were.
If you can license the music and
Yeah, I think Thorsten and I might have to spend a couple of months in LA at some point in the future.
yeah, yeah. Especially with all the experience that Thorsten had with his friends from Tangerine Dream and all the soundtrack the band did, even before Thorsten ended up joining, but can be a good thing there. I saw you two of you playing live, right? And in 2022 at the Roundhouse in London.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was there at the gig, of course. So
Oh, cool.
and it was a great show. How do you know, Steve? Because kind of Tangerine Dream and more electronic music, it's difficult to play guitar. How would you know when to enter and when to get out, when your music was so invasive or it wasn't?
Well, you just try and play with sympathy to the music, really.
Yeah,
You just feel it, and because you're improvising, yeah, play by instinct, really.
yeah. Were you rehearsed with the band like a couple of days before when you're right there,
Oh,
or?
no. No, you have a sound check. You feel fortunate to have a sound check.
Wow. I will be very nervous since I'm not a musician just to play that kind of stuff when you are like a guest for that. So the album is going to be released at August the 22nd, in a couple of weeks, and the album is great, man. Is there the possibility of you touring in the fall, or now that the chemistry and you guys get along, do a follow-up album? Is there the possibility of both?
Yeah, both. So we're going to play live in December, and there are plans to write a new album.
Yeah,
Hopefully, in a shorter time frame than 6 years this time, and
Yeah.
it would work. Yeah, so that's also maybe the idea to have a band name than just our names on it.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think it would be sad if we wouldn't have learned something more in the last 6 years about writing Bioscope music, and also that we now both know that there's going to be a drummer playing.
I see. Yeah.
The track was more loop-based and more electronica-esque percussion sounds. So I think it's probably even easier now to write the second album, because we know some of the cues around it or inside the music.
All right. And you say December, where it's going to be in Europe, I imagine. You're not coming here,
Yeah.
right? In the
No,
UK
we
or?
we have the last Marillion weekend in Utrecht at the beginning of December, and immediately
Yeah.
after that, Bioscope played 2 shows in the Netherlands, 2 in Germany, including 1 in Berlin, and the last show in Warsaw in Poland. And hopefully we'll come to the UK and do some shows kind of April of next year, depending on how long the Marillion album takes and what our other commitments are, because obviously we're both very busy with our real jobs.
That's right. Any possibility of either Marillion or Tangerine Dream to play here in the US. We haven't seen you guys in a long time. Of course, I know it's very expensive and the visas, and if you break even, it's a miracle, right? You don't want to lose that much money. But
Yeah, it's difficult, really. I mean, Tangerine Dream have played there recently. We haven't played for a few
yeah,
years.
yeah.
We're doing the Crimson Edge from Miami next
In
month.
Miami. Yeah.
But in terms of the tour, it is very, very difficult just because we have so much equipment and so much crew and the withholding tax and the visa situation. And also that kind of feeling of uncertainty there at the moment. You know, it's
Mm.
from the outside, you can't really feel that comfortable with how things are progressing.
Yeah, I know exactly. I know exactly what you mean. My understanding, Steve, is that you are working an album in our mutual friend with Steve Hackett as well. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, it's been going very nearly as long as a Bioscope project.
Right.
Interesting thing about it is it's also very cinematic, but in a kind of more guitar led direction, obviously with the two guitarists. But it's good. It's some really strong ideas. It's some of the the best I've heard. I mean, the Steve's playing on this record is phenomenal, and there's some really beautiful things where we both play together. That I think people will absolutely love. So, I mean, I don't know when that's going to come out. I'm going to try and finish it by the end of this year and probably release it sometime in the middle of next year. But you know, I have to be careful with the new Marillion album when that's going to come out that it doesn't clash with that. But yeah, no, I seem to spend my life going from one project to another because I'm still working on my Revan Toulet space themed album, which has been going even longer than Bioscope. That's been going since 2018. So once the Steve Hackett album's finished, I'll try and finish that as well before we then do the next Bioscope album.
Yeah. How you and the same question to Thorsten, because I know you work with other people and you work in besides engineering your own thing and you invite different people as guests. How you manage deadlines? I mean, you have you Steve, you just mentioned 5 projects, right? How do you know? Hey, I project 1 80%. I want to start project 2 30%, project 3 20%, and then more people are calling you and so on and so forth. How you manage?
A very understanding wife. Yeah, no, you just fit in what you can when you can. You know, at the end of the
Right.
day, you know, Marillion. I've been in Marillion for 46 years this
For the
year.
year, yeah.
You know, you never know how long you've got in life. You know, we've lost a few people recently, and it would be good to do whatever you can for as long as you can. I mean, I'm full of admiration for Steve Hackett, really. You know, he's 10 years older than me and he's still going strong. So
Yeah.
there's hope for us all.
Okay. What about you, Thorsten? How you manage multiple deadline and remember and going for an album on Wednesday when I work with that person and then the week after working with another person and people pinging you and want to collaborate with you and a new soundtrack and touring. How you guys manage that like that?
Sometimes an antisocial wise behavior because I'm not good in doing different things in the same week or even in the same day. I can't do this. So I have to be very focused on one project or
Yeah.
one album, one piece of music, and so I'm just doing that, including not reacting to anybody else in that time frame from 1 week or 2 weeks sometimes, because sometimes it's very different. If I'm doing things, Tangerine Dream is one, sometimes the Schiller production, Bioscope, last year I did Blood Incantation, which was extreme metal, like between death and black metal. I think it would be too strange to come from the Hansa studio doing black metal and then let's do a uplifting ambient music. So I have to be focused on yeah, without looking anywhere else. Deadlines are sometimes good because I probably wouldn't stop arranging and remixing and re-editing, replaying everything. So a deadline sometimes is like, so now you have to just save the project or render it. So this is even the good thing about modular systems, because you don't have presets you can save and come back to. So it forces me to press record, the record button in one point, in 1 minute, to have that audio in the sequencer or in the DAW. Else I would re-edit or program the sound for years, probably.
Wow. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Wow, good for you guys. Steve, I know you are going to be, I think you're working some music for the opening of the ELT, which is the Extreme Large Telescope that BIM is going to be built. It's in the process of being built in Chile to scale to be open in 2027. And I heard that they are behind for a year, so it's not going to happen until probably 2028. And so you like going to Chile? You have been there before. I saw a couple YouTube clips, and that's an honor to be playing there as well, man.
No, it's been incredible. All my trips to the observatories there. It's
Yeah.
been incredibly privileged. Yeah, and my plan at the moment is we'll start writing again with the next Bioscope album, but I'd like us to write a track that we could perform at the opening of the ELT there, whenever it's opened. I think that'd be a very cool thing to do and to film, really. So yeah, fingers crossed we can make that happen.
Yeah. Are you planning on flying there, Thorsten, as well? If you can, if you know.
Yeah,
Okay, got it right. That's it. Because I'm going to be attending. My dad was kind of, I don't know, I don't want to mention the name, but he was director of a famous engineering school there. Some of the school, although the money comes from the European community, a lot of students from the school that my dad used to work and are going to be attending. So I'm going to be attending that particular ceremony, being in 2728. And of course, since I was born there and I speak the language, happy to take you and pick you up to the airport and show you around, because that's my home place, so happy to do that. And
we've got a lot of great friends there. I mean, from my time with playing there with Marillion, and also through the space agency there. So yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be quite an incredible occasion.
I got you. A question for you, Steve. The Wishing Tree, which is a project with vocalist Hannah Stover. Yeah, you end up releasing a couple albums, Carnival Souls and Ostara, and I really like the stuff. And a lot of people that like Marillion now is, it's a lady coming different.
Yeah, I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
I overestimated the amount of interest it would be from Marillion fans with the Wishing Tree. It's one of those things that some people get it, and the people that get it absolutely love it, and other people really aren't interested. Even though I think it's got some of my best music in it.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, no, I've struggled with it. But Hannah's one of my best friends, and hopefully we'll get a chance to work together again one day. But because it was a pleasure to do.
Yeah, she's a very nice lady, easy to get along. I have seen her work with other people that she's working. I will try to interview her as well, and she's a very nice lady, and I like her music. So Thorsten, Tangerine Dream, when you start going back on tour, I think in a couple of weeks you go over again, and
right? So it's not a long tour in one piece this year. So it's probably it was never. So we started mid of March in Spain, then Germany, UK, a lot of other countries. It was, and then the booked week out of hell was Melbourne, Sydney, Oslo, Helsinki in 7 days. like spending 63 hours on a plane in 1 week. And now in between we played Vienna as well, and now we are going to tour from 25th Poland, then some weeks off. So we also have to write a new album, which will be released in 26, and then we have some concerts in France in October.
Good for you. Good for you. My understanding is, Steve, that you actually next week you're going back to the studio and get together with your Marillion buddies and start recording new things. I think you start the 12th, I think, if I read that somewhere.
Yeah, you're very well informed.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, we go in on Tuesday for the first time, really this year in terms of writing and arranging, because obviously this year's been taken up with the 8 Marillion weekends around the world and the 3-month rehearsal for them, and then the break from the end of June for our holiday for 6 weeks. So yeah, we go in there. We've got a lot of ideas from the last couple of years. I think in the last count, I think there was 5,000 ideas on our SoundCloud. So it's now we're in that period where hopefully there will be the transition of ideas to songs, which depends on many factors. Us all liking the same ideas. Steve Hogarth feeling inspired by some of the ideas and having lyrical themes to explore. And yeah, we'll be in there probably till the end of the year, at least, maybe longer. And the album will be out when it's great, because it's more important for it to be another great album than it is for it to be out at any particular time.
Yeah, and I know you're going to be, of course, touring very soon. I got you go to Netherlands, Canada, France, and of course the weekend that you guys will play as well. So you're going to be busy as well. Man, this album, as I say before, Gentō will become available in a couple of weeks, and it will be part of a CD, a Blu-ray, a digipack, a high resolution, Dolby Atmos, and I'm looking forward to have a physical copy in my hand and listen to it the proper way instead of doing the way, listen to the car or a CD and so on and so forth. So you mentioned December. I will try my best to attend some of the gig. I don't go to Germany that often, Thursday, but I go to the UK at least 3 or 4 times a year, right? So for a week, I take a week off and then go there to see some concert. And I'm going to be working with a couple of people, not for a musician point of view, but from a managerial point of view, hopefully be an executive producer, a couple of records. And then, like I said before, I want to create a couple of music scholarship and so I will be reaching out to you if we do something together and then help somebody, a student in a particular country or that couldn't afford studio time to help somebody out in the world. So
last time you met in Brighton, is it possible? Bristol or Brighton? I think it was Brighton, was inside the tour.
Yeah, I think I was in Brighton and I saw you before you play in DC here. There was great shows. Electronic music was by accident. As I say, in 1976, I came across a couple of Tangerine Dream, and I knew back then that the music will become an important part of my life, right? And electronic music make impact in my life, and I have seen Tangerine Dream probably 20 times, and Marillion about the same time. The last time I saw Marillion when you were in DC, like 6-7 years ago, in a place called the 930 Club. I don't know, 7 years.
Yeah, I know, I remember it. Yeah,
it was a great gig, and music is beautiful, man. Music brings happiness. I know that not everybody have the possibility to buy music or buy CDs or then show. The prices are going up. Everything is going up, right? So
yeah,
not just music, but But music is a beautiful thing. I really like the album again, and you guys are doing very well. I'm happy that you get along very well, and hopefully I will be seeing you play live in Berlin or in the UK or another city. So it was very nice talking to you, Thorsten and Steve. Great album, and I'm looking forward to seeing you live very soon, man.
Excellent. Great to
Thank
speak to
you.
you, Claudio.
Thanks
No
so
problem.
much.
Take it easy. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye.